everybody. This is Petrie Hawkins Bird. This is my lovely wife, Makita Bond.
Hi.
You are checking us out on Dallas Weekly.
So why don't you just take us on that journey together from the cancer discovery to the victory over cancer, and how did you obtain that strength together to persevere and cultivate, the faith to come across that victory line?
That's a big question.
Yes, sir. I made it up myself.
Well, first of all, it started in 2021.
Yeah.
On March 8th. That fateful morning, my wife had just made some coffee for us. We were up in our bedroom watching.
So you made coffee for me.
Okay. We made coffee for each other, and we were sitting on our bed watching TV, and all of a sudden I turned to put my coffee down on the nightstand.
Yeah.
When I turned back, my wife was frozen. I mean, frozen stiff, and it looked like she was pointing at her foot. And I thought either she was kidding or that or that she had caught a cramp or something.
Yeah.
And soon realized once our cat jumped up on the bed and looked at me like, hey,
what are you gonna do?
Something's wrong with mom.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, she's having a seizure, and automatically my exposure to folks who had seizures in my past kind of kicked in, and next thing you know, I turned on her side and kind of held her. And most people don't know, but seizures generally last anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes. But it's the longest 2 or 3 minutes that you will ever spend with anybody. And at that point, you have to just keep them calm, keep their airways clear, and so that's what I did. I managed to call 911, and they sent out the paramedics. They came, they got her, whisked her off to the hospital, and we spent the remainder of that day in the hospital.
Getting some tests.
Getting tests. She had an MRI, CAT scan, and all of that. So that was 10 o'clock in the morning when we got to the hospital. About 4 o'clock, a doctor comes in to the ER room that we were in, and announces to us that my wife has a quail egg sized tumor on the left frontal lobe of her brain. And I'm looking at him like
you got the wrong room.
You're looking for Makita Jenkins, all right? This is Makita Bond. This is my wife. And he's like, no, this is accurate. This is exactly what it is. And then proceeded to tell us that he could perform surgery on her the next morning. He said, if you leave her here overnight, I'll perform surgery on her the next morning, and I'll be able to remove about 65% of the tumor. And so we looked at each other, and at that point I just said, hey, I tell you what, let's switch places. You'll be me, I'll be you. This is your wife. What would you do? And he told me 3 things. He said, 1, I would take my wife home. 2, I would go online and I would look up as much information as I can about the conditions that I told you are prevalent in her right now.
Right.
And 3, he said, I would seek a second opinion.
Yep.
I said, okay, well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do those 3 things. And that's what we did. And subsequently, we got in touch with Dr. Keith Black at Cedars-Sinai Hospital. His name kept coming up. Everybody kept recommending him.
Yeah.
And we managed to get an appointment with him. And he did a functional MRI. Yeah. Had her tested and told us that he could probably remove 90 to 95% of the tumor.
Well, he said that he would like to get the whole brain tumor out.
Yeah.
But I had surgery on April 16th, and he removed 95% of it out. So the biopsy came back with stage 3 brain cancer. So I had to do radiation, chemo, all that for like 6 weeks, radiation and chemo, and then every month I would have to take chemo. So that lasted about 12 months? Because I just got off the chemo in June.
The chemo lasted about 12 months.
Yeah.
Radiation was, 6 weeks?
6 weeks,
Yeah.
yeah.
And, but good news is that she continues in the healing process.
Yeah.
And the other thing that the doctors, Dr. Black, the surgeon, and so the thing that Dr. Black, the surgeon, and Dr. Rudnick, the oncologist, told us is that it's the attitude that helps in the healing process.
Yeah.
Probably as much as any radiation or any chemo.
Yeah.
The attitude that the person has, is paramount in helping the healing process. And they would love to bottle what Makita has, because at no point did she ever feel sorry for herself, or woe is me, or why is me. She just continued to increase in her faith in God, and that God had it handled. And
well, what's your daily routine? I mean, just to stay in faith, to keep that faith cultivated.
I would go to Bedside Baptist on Sundays and do worship, listen to gospel music every day, like all different songs, like touch me in a very profound way, and I'm like, oh my God, I love this song, and I made a playlist. But yeah, I mean,
why is that vital to music? I mean, is it healing, very therapeutic? And
one thing I know is that God is real, right? So I had a testimony of my own in 2016, and I was like, okay, I didn't look at cancer in a negative way, because he gave me a testimony back in 2015 or 16. So I'm like, God, what are we doing? You know what I mean? So, I mean, just have trust in him, and the worship music is like the best. But yeah, I mean, God only got me through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And along with that, what else was part of your routine? The music?
Daily affirmations.
Okay.
I have an app on my phone, and it's like, it sends you like different notifications, like anytime, like positivity notifications. So that kept me through it. What else?
There's the app that you have that sends testimonies of people or prayer.
It's a holy app.
Okay.
Holy Bible app.
Yeah.
And I know laughing is very therapeutic, and I know Pelgi over here, he's a known comedian.
Yeah.
How much did that help?
That helped tremendously, because, I'm not feeling sorry for myself, if that's the right word or phrase. But my husband, he's a full-blown comedian, and he doesn't stop. His nickname is Nonstop. But, like, laughter is the best medicine,
It is.
So,
the Bible says, talks about laughter. Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, the other thing that we did, and this started in 2020, at the start of the pandemic, we were holed up at home. We were quarantined pretty much like the rest of the nation.
Yeah.
And so we had to find ways of entertaining one another. And so that's what we started doing. We started making each other laugh, and then we decided to sort of take our act virtually on the road, and we
started on Instagram.
And
it's called Bonding with Bird.
Right.
And then we moved to YouTube and Facebook.
Right.
And we have our daily show.
Right. Well,
on Tuesdays.
Weekly show.
No. Yeah, weekly?
Yeah, weekly.
Oh,
every
okay.
Tuesday. So you just said it. Anyway, so yeah, Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. It just became a regular thing,
Yeah.
and we started doing hot topics,
Yeah.
and
It's kind of like
different segments, you know.
podcast / talk show.
Yeah, and
It's a good show. I've watched it. It's a good show.
Thank you. Our audience started to build up, and we wound up interviewing many friends of ours who are in the industry, and just having a good time at it, you know.
Yeah.
So we're on hiatus right now, but we're looking forward to starting it up again.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna put some links in the description box
Absolutely.
so they can subscribe to your channel.
Okay, absolutely. So you know, yeah, you guys can, you know.
It's real quick. It's real simple. Bonding with Bird.
I'm Bird, B-Y-R-D.
I'm
and that's
Bond.
Peter Bond.
Yes.
You know.
Bonding with Bird. Get it?
But I think they get
I like that.
But that's, you know, those things, and again, as she said, those daily affirmations, those are the things that kept us going. You know, our daily walk with God, prayer, and just laying hands on each other and lifting each other up to the Lord.
Do you remember what I said to you? We're just in the waiting room.
That was what she always said. You know.
What does that mean? You're just in the way.
So God is the doctor. We're just the patients. We're in the waiting room.
That's deep.
Yeah.
I like that.
You're gonna be sick until we get in and we see him. You know.
God's been warning.
And when he's ready for us. You know.
Yes.
No, that's powerful. That's powerful.
Yeah.
Now, we're in Dallas, Texas. Last night,
Yeah.
it was at the Survivors Ball.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that award that you received? And congratulations.
Thank you. It's a survivor's ball. Her name is Angelina Dunbar. She's here in Dallas, and she shot a video for my grandfather. He was turning 90, and I wanted to shoot a video of him and have it as a memorabilia.
Something like that.
Okay, so she heard about my story, and she was like, "Oh my God, I would like to honor you next year for a survivor's ball." And she flew
And
us out.
Survivors Ball, we should know, is there were many recipients last night.
And it was different categories.
In different categories.
Yes, so domestic violence, alcoholism, false imprisonment. Yeah.
Yeah. So all the people there were survivors in many different categories.
Rape.
But they all gave it up to God.
Yep.
As pulling them through and helping them not only to survive but to thrive. And so my wife was in very good company.
Yes. I was Googling like baby. Of all the awesome stories.
Right.
Yeah. So I got my survivor's award.
Gave a fantastic speech.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
All right.
You did very well. I'm the one that's used to public speaking, and she's not generally. But yesterday, she pulled out all stops. She was prepared in her statements, and the crowd loved her.
I bet the Bonding with Bird show has helped.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. But I never spoke in front of a crowd before.
But unlike on the Bonding with Birds show, she didn't interrupt herself, so that helped her. That was a joke.
All right. So what are the future plans for both of you?
Okay, so I'm writing a book. God's telling me to write a book. I'm not just writing it for my health.
Right.
But yes, I'm writing a book. What are you doing? You have multiple shows that you're doing.
So I'm back, coming back on television in another court show called Tribunal, which should be beginning in 2023 at some point. They haven't designated a start date yet. And I also have landed the role of Coach Alvin Gentry in Sterling Affair, which is a movie version of the incident that happened with Donald Sterling, of the former owner of the Clippers. And so I'm looking forward to playing Alvin, and The odd part is that Alvin Gentry is now the head coach of the Sacramento Kings. And Sacramento is where I lived for 21 years. So
Can't make it up.
that's it. That's it. When God puts it together, it looks weird, but it's ordained. You know.
Hey,
Yeah.
congratulations. That's powerful.
Thank
Man,
you.
That's great. Okay, so any closing words?
Okay, so
Oh, and also tell us again how they can find the Bonding with Bird show.
you want to tell them about Bonding with Bird?
Okay, so Bonding with Bird, you can look on YouTube. Just put Bonding with Bird in the search engine, and Bird is B-Y-R-D and not B-I-R-D. Bonding with Bird, and you will be able to go through our archives. We have about 100 episodes archived on YouTube, so you can check those out.
And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Mostly subscribe.
Yeah,
And if you don't
that's
like
very
it,
important.
just tell your friends.
Very important.
To subscribe.
And we will start new episodes
Yes.
in January.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
And also with cancer, cancer is not a death sentence, you know. And you just have to be positive about your. If you have cancer, I'm not being insensitive, but don't feel sorry for yourself. Pick up your drawers and like process it the way you want to, and then move on with your life. You know what I mean? Like, cancer is not stopping you from doing anything. You know, it's just a temporary disease.
pick up your drawers. Is that the conclusion? Anyway.
Well, I don't know what else.
It's memorable.
As I said from the beginning, when this seizure took place on March 8th of 2021, I was next to my hero that morning, and I have had the pleasure and the blessing of being next to my hero every morning since then. And so continue to pray, continue to lift up your situations to God, no matter what it is that you're facing.
Right.
God can bring you through. That much we can both testify to.
Yes, yes.
Now,